What's up, guys? Welcome back to Swole Rod TV. I can already tell from the title of this video that I'm going to be reacting to that it's going to get ugly real quick. It's only 4 minutes long, so it's just going to get right to the point. And it's Ben again. Ben's back, and yeah, we're just going to get right into this. We're just not going to waste any time. We're just going to start the video. So I really want to see what's going to go down here.
Richard Fowler, nationally syndicated radio host and a Fox News contributor. Good to have both of you here. Let me start with you on this, Richard. Your thoughts on free speech, and as we do this, let's put up a image that shows 1964 Berkeley, which is considered the home of the free speech movement as we headed into war. Berkeley 2017 on the right-hand side of your screen is a pretty shocking dichotomy. Richard.
Well, I think what we saw last night was devastating, and as much as I don't agree with Milo or Milo or what he stands for, what he believes in, I think he has the right to speak at Berkeley, and I think the university believes the same thing. And I think to go one step further than I think those who rioted, they're wrong, and I think they don't represent the broader progressive movement, and so I think it's a mistake to lump them in with those progressives like myself who saying we're going to peacefully protest, we're going to peacefully obstruct, and because we don't like somebody's views, which is the right we have by the Constitution.
Oh my God.
Ben, what do you think?
I mean, I think that a lot of what Richard is saying is true, but I do think that there's a mentality that's being inculcated on a lot of college campuses, and I speak at 20, 25, 30 of these a year. There's a mentality that suggests that speech that you don't like is some sort of violence. It's a microaggression to be met with macroaggression. And so when you start with the premise it's okay to punch Nazis, and then you say everyone's a Nazi, and everyone who offends you is a Nazi, then pretty soon it's pretty easy to see how things break down. And I mean, that's why I've had riots against me at Cal State Los Angeles. We had a near riot at Penn State last year. It's becoming a lot less uncommon than you would hope it would be, certainly.
You look at the protests of the picture that we showed, is the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, that were, based in such, deeply held beliefs. And in some of these cases, Richard, you just have to, sort of wonder, when you have students who have been sort of taught that they require safe spaces around them, that hearing the viewpoint of someone who's different than them is not an education, it's an offense. I think that we have to make sure that universities, and I give UC Berkeley credit in this case because they did come forward and say that they gave him a forum to speak in, and it wasn't necessarily their fault. So Donald Trump, the president's tweet, may have been misplaced, really, in terms of its direction. Richard?
No, I think his tweet was misplaced. I think the university did everything in their power, and I would argue that probably a lot of these rioters don't go to UC Berkeley. I think the students can protest.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I think in Milo's case, his writings show that he is part of the alt-right, which is a code word for white supremacy. So I don't particularly subscribe to his beliefs. I'm adamantly against his beliefs, but I believe he has the right to speak. And so I think that's what we had to make the very clear distinction. I think to lump all liberals in and to lump professors in and say that they don't want to hear voices of conservative views, I think that's wrong. I think our university system has proven the opposite because it produced a lot of conservative views, whether it be at Harvard, whether it be at UC Berkeley, or whether it be at Yale.
Ben, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that there is another problem here, and that is, does the administration do what it's supposed to do in terms of giving the police on its campuses the ability to shut down violent protests? And I think the answer is no. I mean, we've seen that at California State LA, where I was. There was a situation where the administration essentially told the police to stand down and allow protesters to do what they were going to do. Last night we saw this go ahead. There's a difference between barricades and having enough officers there to actually shut down the violence.
Officers in riot gear, based on just looking at those videos.
That's right. And Richard, did they move on the people who are smashing the auditorium windows? Did they move on the people who were spray painting "Kill Trump"?
Neither of us were on the ground to know what the police were doing. I think the point I'm trying to make here is the university did everything in its power to ensure that Mr. Milo was safe. And at the end of the day, because of these people who don't live in, they probably don't go to UC Berkeley. They're clearly agitators. We're talking about this story. At the universities are places of intellectualism. They're laboratories of intellectualism. And I think any university will allow conservative speakers to come on their campus. And the job of the conservative speakers is to speak their views, and our job is to oppose them.
And you also have to let law enforcement do what they need to do to prevent criminals, which is what these people are, who are destroying property and injuring people. One man was there, to protect the right of free speech and got his nose broken. So we can't allow that, and that has to be cracked down on as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Richard Fowler, Ben Shapiro, good to see you both tonight.
That was actually a very reasonable debate. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I actually like that. I actually like that they were both able to express their opinions without anyone getting too nasty. So, perfect example of been going up against someone and it doesn't end ridiculously, or it doesn't end on a bad note, or I guess in a disaster as far as people saying horrible things to each other. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Doing more reactions to this, as many as I can today. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. All right. And be civil in the comments. Peace.